In this video, let's talk about how to throw a curveball. We'll cover some of the different common curveball grips. We'll talk about the spin, the action, 1-7, 12-6, all these different things in this video. All right, first thing, let's talk about curveball grips. So you're gonna take the ball like this, and we're gonna slide our fingers down the inside edge like so, and the thumb is gonna come on the inside of the ball like this. What we do with our index finger is up to us. It can lay gently on the ball like so. It can stick up in the air like this. We can put our knuckle on it. That's what we call a knuckle curve. You can put your fingernail in it. That's another version of the knuckle curve, whether it's here or here, or you can cross it over. Any of those are valid curveball grips. It's up to you, so you should tinker with them and see which one works for you. But again, thumb on the bottom, on the inside of this seam. This is on the inside of this seam, so we can catch it. And then where you place your index finger is gonna be up to you. All right, let's talk about the curveball's spin and what it's supposed to do. So we're trying to get top spin, so forward spin, as if we drilled a hole through the baseball and it's spinning in the direction that it's traveling. The type of spin we don't want on a curveball is side spin. We don't wanna do this. This is what we call a little league curveball. We don't wanna get around it, and we don't wanna impart side spin, because that's not gonna help the ball be forced downward to the ground with the physics of the flight of the ball. So this is called the Magnus effect. When we have the ball spinning towards the plate with top spin, it creates a sort of pressure effect on top that's gonna force it towards the ground. The more side spin that we put into the ball, where it's a mixture, say it's not perfect top spin, that's gonna make the pitch more loopy and appear less sharp to the hitter. Okay, so if we know we wanna get really clean top spin, top spin without any side spin mixed in, how do we accomplish that? Well, one good cue that I would always teach the pitchers I was working with, and that worked really well for me, is trying to get your fingernail forward to the front of the ball. So now when you actually throw your curveball, if you look at high-speed video, your fingers sort of go around it, and then the ball slips over top, and then your fingers sort of help to correct and right the spin, so it does have as close to 12-6 as we can get. Again, if it's 12-6 or 1-7, either is completely fine. But our fingers are never actually gonna go in front of the ball. They're gonna go around the side and then help to tilt the ball as it falls out of your hand. This is important, thinking the fingernail forward cue, because when we think about being side to side, it's gonna impart side spin on the ball too much, and we don't want that. So mentally as a pitcher, if you feel like you're opening your front side up, and your ball is starting to get loopy, and your curveball has more of a sweep to it, and it has a lot of side spin mixed in, which you don't want, it's a good cue to think about taking your chin and your chest forward towards the catcher, and to think, I'm gonna try to get my fingernail, especially on my middle finger, to face home plate as I'm releasing this pitch. Again, that won't exactly happen in real life, but that's a good way to think about it, because you're trying to go forward to get on top of the ball rather than getting on side of your curveball. How hard should you throw your curveball? You should throw your curveball absolutely as hard as you can throw it. And that is from an intensity standpoint. Now, when you throw your curveball, the fact that you're getting energy over top of it and converting some of the velocity into spin, that will cause your curveball to come out slower. That's when, if you see in the major leagues, guys throwing 95, his curveball comes out around 80, and that's about normal, somewhere in 15 to 20% slower than your fastball. So that speed does not come from these pitchers easing off it and throwing it mentally slower. They throw their curveballs with mental intensity at 100%, or if not more. Never ease off your curveball. Don't throw that slow, loopy one intentionally. The more you ease off your curveball and throw it loopy, it's gonna take a different trajectory right out of your hand. It's gonna go up a little bit rather than the fastball kind of going down right out of your hand. And that will look like it pops up, and it will look like a different pitch immediately to a hitter. How do you develop a great curveball, and what's the process for learning it? Number one, you have to practice it a lot, but at low speeds. So play catch with it a ton. Throw one fastball, then two curveballs. Throw one fastball, then one curveball. Alternate fastball and curveball so that you can continue to keep the same arm speed and the same mechanics with both pitches, and then just work on, okay, this is a curveball, that's a fastball. The more you can mix the two in when you're playing catch at low speeds, the more you'll start to get the feel for it. You also should ask your throwing partners for feedback. Tell them which ones are sharper, which ones are loopier, which ones, can they see it sort of pop up out of your hand versus ones that look more like a fastball. When you're throwing bullpens, ask your catcher for feedback so that you can feel and see which ones are better than others. It can be really tough to tell which are your sharpest curveballs in a bullpen. All that being said, you can't throw a million curveballs and expect your arm not to sort of react in a negative way or maybe have some problems. Research has shown that pitchers that throw more breaking balls, which is curveballs and sliders, report more arm pain than pitchers who don't. So be careful with the percentage you throw. I suggest pitchers should throw about 20% breaking balls, no more than that, and really more like 15%. And they should only start learning to pitch at 14 years old so that they have the pitch developed and it can be a good pitch in their arsenal by 16. Expect your curveball to take 1 to 2 years to become good. And even then, after that, expect more time for it to be accurate. It's important to understand that the curveball will not be the best breaking ball for every pitcher. Pitchers with lower arm slots, they're gonna be better suited for sliders almost all the time. Some pitchers are gonna spin a curveball really well naturally. I was one of them, and they're not gonna spin a slider as well. Other pitchers will naturally pick up a slider really fast, and they won't be as good with a curveball. It just depends. So understand that throwing a curveball is not the end-all be-all. The goal is just to have one outstanding breaking ball, whether it's a slider or a curveball. And you need to tinker and try both and figure out which one is going to be best for you. Learning how to throw a curveball is a big rite of passage for young pitchers. And if this video is helpful, definitely subscribe to the channel, share this with a friend, check out my pitching books, my mental training books, my online courses for pitching. All of that you'll find in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.